the last round, guys, of the MotoGP 2025 season. Beginning of the season, Bagnaya's words per Lewis keeps reminding us throughout the whole season. So he finished fifth overall. He didn't come there for that. Does he get a pass this round? Is Bezecchi the closest rider in the VR46 Academy to Rossi? Alex Marquez, where would you rank his overall performance? If there was an award to be given for what Pedro did this season on the KTM, what would you call that award? We have to talk about, Frankie. Is this the icing on the cake for this guy to not be in MotoGP 2027? I love the guy. But is this the icing on the cake? I can't see what he did. So is it fair? Was it a fair penalty to you guys or unfair penalty for what Jack Miller got? Because it looked like his rear tire nudged Fernando Alguer's arm. You're listening to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. MotoGP, as 2025 has come to an end, we have a lot to cover about 2025, how it ended, all that fun stuff, all the craziness, who gets a pass, who should keep a contract for 2027 because they're all signed for 26. Before we get into all that, let me just bring in the guys tonight. TJ, man, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
Still cold up here, getting colder, but I'm doing great. It was a fun season, I must say. I mean, there's a lot of controversy, ups and downs. I mean, overall, this was a good 2025 season. Can't wait for 2026. But you want me to tell you about the Patriots? We're still winning.
Well, I was going to say, I have to talk about it because the fact that I'm talking about it, they're still winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm not waiting for them to fall off, but they just making the rest of the league look like, why are they getting paid?
And now everyone's saying we have an easy schedule, but, you still got to go out there and perform. But, you just hold your breath until the playoffs, basically, because that's when things really matter.
Right. So. They didn't say we had a hard schedule. As I'm saying we now. And when they were losing last year, they didn't say it was a hard schedule.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, it is what it is. Lewis, man, welcome to the show. How you doing? You're back on the mainland. So all must be well. Or are you still looking for your cappuccino or espresso?
To be honest with you, man, I do not drink coffee. I don't drink a cappuccino. I don't drink espresso, any of that, which makes traveling overseas even harder because you just got to go on pure energy.
What you talking about, Willis?
There's no artificial boost from the caffeine when I go there. But It was a good trip and saw some really cool stuff, talked to some interesting people. So it was overall very positive. But I'm glad to be back on this side and in the right time zone again.
Yeah, we like having you back because you get to come on the show and lend your thoughts on a lot has been happening. It's the last round, guys, of the MotoGP 2025 season. And, I'm going to try to do it a little bit different. We'll start with this. We'll start with, in your own words, each of you will start with TJ. Give a recap of the weekend before we dive into the whole season and stuff like that. That's the question. Just give a recap on what you thought of the weekend. And, the floor is yours. We'll start with TJ.
Man, let's see. How can I say it? I mean, it's the grand finale. I mean, we start with all the young guns, the mini moto and stuff like that. So it's the grand finale. It's kind of like the race you want to end on. It's kind of bittersweet just to have it end the season. But like I said, it's like you have the kids there, like all the levels. So I would say it's just the grand finale. It's a good weekend.
All right, that's what's up. Lewis, man, the floor is yours, and make it short and sweet like TJ, but you might not. What are your thoughts of the weekend, man? In your words.
I mean, Spain is always a good place to finish off the season. I mean, they've been doing it now. They're pretty much with the one little hiccup, the COVID year. I think they finished Spain is the capper of the season almost every year for the last like 20 something years. It's always a great turnout. It's always a great crowd. I enjoyed every single race, the practices. I mean, you kind of get that little bit of an extra enjoyment out of it, knowing that now we're going to go into like the winter months and we're not going to see motorcycle racing for 3 or 4 months. So it's a bittersweet ending to the season, but it was a good event, man. The turnout was amazing, like it's been in a lot of other events. The racing was fun, like it was tight, it was good. There was a lot of things that happened. So even though like some of the bigger names maybe weren't racing, Marquez and so forth, it's still a great weekend, man.
You know, I was surprised at the turnout, the attendance. I mean, it was packed, but
Yeah.
it sounded like it was in 100,000, not like the 250, close to 300 of these other tracks. Is it? I mean, does that area of Spain need to, commandeer some more land?
No, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's so much the I mean, the one thing with that track is kind of built like a stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Because the track's in the middle and there's grandstands around it, whereas other tracks kind of like the infield will go out to an outfield and then come back to the infield. It's all like in a stadium there, so it's a very unique layout for a racetrack because anywhere you sit, you can kind of see the entire track. It's so it is a little bit smaller of a venue, but it's also it's the end of the year. I think it makes it special to have that like arena type feel.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with the grandstand. It does. I saw that over the weekend when they were panning the crowd and stuff like that, and I didn't know the complete layout as you explained it, but I was like, oh wow, there's a whole row of stands in that one section, where at other tracks you don't see that. And I'll say this: I mean, it is. And I don't know about TJ. It is one of my favorite tracks on Ride Game, and it's one of the few tracks like I know all the turns. It's like Mugello and these other places I know some of the turns and stuff like that, but it's one of the few tracks because it's a smaller track. One of the reasons I believe, but it's also a fun track to go around on, and it is tight. So I can see why Yamaha was quick.
Yep.
At that track. What are your thoughts on the layout of the track? And TJ, do you agree with, is that one of your favorite tracks as well? And I also like it on a MotoGP game.
I mean, yeah, I consider it's one of a favorite track of mine. Everyone likes Mugello and all those faster tracks where you can really get on the gas, but it's a more technical track, small layout, and I think it's pretty smooth. I like Valencia. It's just like you said, the stands is really nice wherever you sit. Like when they pan it out, you can see different turns from afar and don't have to be like, for instance, let's say Coda, where it's like you don't hear the bikes for a couple minutes because they're so far away. And I just think the layout is pretty neat. It's pretty unique, and it's a cool track because it takes a minute and a half roughly to get around, and so you can see the entertainment pass by like faster stuff.
Yeah,
it's the NJMP of the.
I agree. It is definitely that kind of track. So it's I don't even. I'm going to be jumping all over the place probably a little bit tonight. But we'll talk about the race first, the sprint race, the qualifying. I guess let's talk about Bagnaia before Reese get on, so that way we can say we're already done. The beginning of the season, Bagnaia's words per Lewis keeps reminding us throughout the whole season. So he finished 5th overall. He didn't come there for that. Does he get a pass this round? Running out of gas can't be his fault, right? Getting punted off the track can't be his fault. Out of 22 rounds, this round, does the man get a pass and just, was he standing too close to Oliveira? What are your thoughts, TJ?
He don't get a pass. You know what this is? This is the cherry on top, So for all the problems that he had, like it just sucks the way it ended. Like it just makes sense. It's just he had a terrible year, and this is just the cherry on top. You can't mess around in the back if you're a faster rider. You know, like obviously you can't control what Zarco did either. You know, but you know, it's just a cherry on top. I don't think he gets a pass. It's just
he ran out of gas into Q2. He ran out of gas in Q2, so he was possibly going to make it to. I'm sorry, Q1. He was possibly going to make it to Q2, but ran out of gas with 3 minutes left.
So maybe his engineers was like, I don't know how the hell we gonna make Pego faster. Maybe just lighten his bike up, give him some less gas, like see if he can get a faster lap. And then he just probably continued and ran out of gas. It just I don't know. They probably try to help him out in a way. So I don't think he gets a pass. But it's just interesting how it laid out, you know, with him running out of gas, and then even in the GP race, he hit 3 corners, and it's just sad. You know?
All right.
I know he's glad for this season to be over.
Man, I think his fans are, and I think he is. Although, you know, what are you going to talk about this offseason, Lewis? What are your thoughts, man?
No, I'm actually sad the season is over because now it's 3 months where I don't get to bang on him all the time for being. I mean, I'll start again next year. I'm sure he'll pick up where he left off. But...
All right, we can complain about him not walking his dog enough.
yeah, we can find something. There's always something. The fuel thing. Anybody will tell you when they're going out for qualifying, they only put so much fuel for so many laps because they're not gonna fill the tank because they don't want to add the extra weight.
Right.
And they set the bike up for the weight of the bike with that type of fuel capacity. Now, did they send him out and he stayed out for an extra lap that he shouldn't have? Did he burn some gas on the first lap that he shouldn't have? You know, like there's a lot of dynamics there. I mean, you just have to be that half a liter short. And now you don't get around.
3 minutes? 3 minutes left?
3 minutes left. 3 minutes left is
because he did he did pit.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, they should have put a little bit of gas in. but then again, for a tire change is fast. And remember, these guys don't pit, so it's not like they have speed cans where they just pump it and go.
Right,
It's a different dynamic. If you're an endurance racer, you've got an endurance tank. If you're a regular racer, you know, you get the little funnel out, you measure out exactly the amount. Like it's a different dynamic than that. And I don't know what the fueling procedure is or what the rules are, but I think in GP to fuel, your bike has to be in your garage. You can't fuel outside your garage. Right. So he would have to bought the bike into the garage, added fuel, turn it around, get it back. Like, so again, somebody somewhere screwed up and their measurement was off by like, you know, maybe 20% of a liter or something. And that's why he ran out of gas. But for me, this is just the culmination of what might be the worst season of his career to this point. I mean, I don't think it could get any worse than this. So this weekend was just exactly what, you know, my man said. It was the cherry on top of a shit sandwich. Like this was as bad as the season could get. And it's like, dink, there's your cherry, bud.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say though, that has always been a knock on him and will always be a knock on him. I hate the fact that he goes down and he just walks away from the bike. He does not, I don't ever see him making an attempt to pick the bike up and even get 1 point. And I'm sorry, but it could be the last race of the season. You could be out of the points. I still expect you to go back to that bike, pick that bike up and try to finish and get that 1 point.
Right.
Like, and that shows me he's got no dog in him. Like there's no dog in that fight.
Yeah.
Like if your bike crashes, if your bike goes down, it's a low side, it's not tumbling and doing a Cirque du Soleil, and the swing arm doesn't come flying off. I want you to at least make an attempt to run back to the bike and look to see if you can get on and finish. I don't care if you finish last, man. I paid for the gas. I paid for the tires. I paid for you to ride that bike. Pick that bike up and finish.
Right. Well, you know, he got to keep himself right he wasn't going to gain any points, and they got testing coming up.
Yeah, but he doesn't just do this now, man. He's done it during the whole season. We could go back and like the first time he DNF'd, I guarantee you he didn't even try to look at the bike. And you look at Marquez, he's ahead in the points, My man crashes, holds on to the handlebars, tries to get the bike up and get going. And he's the one that really doesn't need to do it. He's 100 points ahead of everybody else, but he does it. Why? Because he doesn't know any other way to ride.
Maybe he has good eyes and he look at the bike and he can see, all right, something's broken.
He don't even look back. He stands up and walks away before he even looks at the bike.
Oh, he did look back because the marshals had the bike up and he walked away from the bike. He did walk away from the bike. He didn't pick the bike up though.
He didn't pick the bike up.
He didn't pick the bike up, but he did.
I felt like he could have rolled through that kitty litter. If he was in first place or if it was his championship year and he messed up like that, he would have found a way to save it and not just fall it. I know the kitty litter is deep, but he would have found a way to stay up somehow. Like Lewis said, to at least get 1 point. Like he just kind of just gave it up. And I didn't really look at it that way, where when he crashes, he kind of just says whatever. Like there's a lot of riders who crash and still jump back in the race.
Yeah.
Jawan Mir's done it. Zarco's done it. Like so many riders have just crashed and you think they're out and they finish last?
They get a point.
Yeah. Or even they'll continue and then they'll pit later in the race because it's like
who crashed? Who crashed and came in 13th place and got a couple points? Marc Marquez, man. Did he need 3 or more points to win by 100 and something points this season? No. But that's just the dog in him. He's gonna get up and he's gonna fight. A lot of riders do that, man. If you're in this level, I expect you to at least make the attempt to go to the bike. Don't just walk away from the bike like, fuck that. I'm done.
You know what? I should have been like that and done and not ask about Pecco at all. Because
you should have.
At least Reese ain't here.
Yeah, this would be a 2-hour conversation just on that.
I'm pretty sure he'll slide something when he comes.
But here's a stat, just so you know: since Marquez won the championship across all platforms, Ducati scored 2 points in MotoGP. Marquez has scored 0 points since he won the championship because he got hurt. Pecco has scored 0 points since Marquez won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know who scored the 2 points?
Did you?
Bulega.
Oh, you mean
I'm talking for factory Ducati. Factory Ducati. Bulega is the only guy to score a point in the last 4 races.
Well, yeah, that's because I have this written down. Pecco has had 5 DNFs. So that's
not all everybody else's fault.
That's easy enough.
He had 5 DNFs and 1 no points. Yeah.
So I mean, it is unfortunate for the situation, but we'll find out more. I won't talk about Bagnaia in 2025 season since it's over. So I guess today's 2026.
All right. Bagnaia sucked in 26 also, by the way.
Yeah. No. Let me ask this, guys. Okay, so is Bezzecchi the closest rider in the VR46 Academy to Rossi? Reason why I said that, besides Marc Marquez, Bez is the only other rider in modern times to jump on a new bike, new factory team, and finish 3rd in the championship. Mark did it last year with Grassini. Before that, it's been a while. I think Rossi was the first did it and won on the Yamaha way back when. Is he the closest thing to a Rossi, or in the making, I should say?
Yeah, I would possibly say in the making. There's still a lot of milestones to be completed, but Bezzecchi is no slouch. He has proven himself, and this year definitely got to tip the hat off to him because you had no real teammate to lean on to get data from. It was basically you and your engineering, and it trickled down to the other riders on Aprilia. So, and what he did was he got a couple poles and a lot of wins. He's seen his struggles in the beginning of the year, but he's definitely the closest, I would say, in the making to Rossi.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Lewis, on that? What Bez is doing? You're probably checking my numbers just to make sure what I'm saying is on point.
No, I'm not. I believe you. I think I think there's a lot of talent in the VR46 Academy overall. Like if you look at all the guys that are part of that program, there's a lot of talent there. I think this year Bezzecchi has shown that next step in the progression of a really good rider, from a really good rider to possibly a great rider. You know, he went from a competitive, super competitive bike from Ducati, took a big risk to go to Aprilia, even though it had shown some flashes of brilliance. Mm-hmm. It had never been a consistent race over race front runner. You know, Asparagus had shown some flashes of brilliance here and there, but it wasn't ever a consistent thing. And Bezzecchi is somehow taking a bike that at the beginning of the year wasn't really working for him, adapted his riding style, worked with the team to make some changes to the bike. And at that certain point of the midway part of the season, like he really started coming out right before the midway part.
Right.
And just started building on that. And I think if he stays with Aprilia and they continue to evolve this package, I think going into next year, he's definitely got to be considered one of the favorites to win the championship. More so than I would say Martin right now, because Martin next year is starting like Bezzecchi started this year at the beginning of the year. Like next year is really his first year on the bike. Bezzecchi is his second year on the bike.
Right. I completely agree. Reese, man, welcome to the show, man. What's good, man?
What's going on, man? I thought I'd be parked by now with traffic, but I'm all good. What's going on?
I can't complain, man. I don't know how much of that you heard but I repeat it, is Bez the closest thing to a Rossi coming out of the VR46 Academy, being able to put jumping on a bike for the first year, be able to finish third in the championship. Marquez was the only other rider in modern time that was able to do that, switching manufacturers and finishing third in the championship. Although Lewis, I think he can hear me, Mark had more points last year than Bez did this year. But what are your thoughts, Reese?
I mean, the part I heard from Lewis, I do agree with that. I do think that him jumping on that bike and he kind of came into his own after they started, gelling together and kind of matching up in the second half of the season, because he really came on in the second half of the season real strong. So I think that was a good marriage right there. And I think if he stays with that package and he really goes forward with it, I really think that he can be a top contender next year. Being as far as with the VR46, I think he is one of the strongest coming out the way he has come along. So as far as like a Rossi, I mean, he's close. He's not gonna lie. He's damn near close. He's right there. I mean, we still got a good ways to go, but he has shown some talent on that bike. And just like, what Lewis said with Jorge, I mean, Jorge is pretty much starting from scratch. So he's got a long way to go to develop that bike for him and match it to his style of riding.
Yeah, I agree with that. Nice. That's what's up. Alex Marquez, where would you rank his overall performance this weekend and also all season, right? Because, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Where would you rank Alex and what he's been doing this year? And, after the injury, we saw him fall off a little bit, as one would from injuries, but he finished out the year as strong as one can. If you look at all these other guys that have been injured this year and where they are in the standings. What are your thoughts, TJ?
I mean, like I've been saying all year, I never expected Alex to do what he did. I mean, obviously riders should be improving year by year, but from the year he had last year, I mean, I know it's the type of bike, but he had a hell of a year this year. I'll rate his performance this year pretty much a 10 out of 10. I mean, I just remember last year when he had that incident with Pecco at Aragon. It was a little battle of like whose fault it was, and Alex was being in the way, and he should have let him by. And I feel like he he mentally knew that he was just a stronger rider and a strong rider. And he didn't have to back down to any other one. So this year, I think he really improved it. I think it's a 10 out of 10 performance. Going into this weekend, I mean, he did qualify second on the grid, but he got the sprint. I think he chose probably the wrong tire package or something like that on the GP because, his pace dropped off or he just maybe had no energy. But 10 out of 10, I'll say for Alex.
Alex did mention in the win in the sprint, saying that he know he could be faster on Sunday. He didn't back up his words, TJ.
No,
you're gonna blame it on tires.
I mean, he should know better, like how to manage a sprint to a GP race, and I'm sure they all been to Valencia before, but I don't know. It's 44 races. Like, he's a know he already did what he had to do and all the accomplishments were met. And at the end, he probably just wanted to get to that testing on Tuesday. So just probably took it easy. I mean, like even his own teammate overtook him in the last corner.
I know.
For him to let it slip like that, you don't really see that from Alex. So I think it's the tires.
Nice. So, Lewis, I didn't add this when I talked about Bezzecchi because to me, Bezzecchi's, even though he finished third in the championship, he's really number two because he kind of just started out slow and just kind of made an upward progression where Alex finished second in the championship, but he's slipping and sliding. What are your thoughts on Alex's performance overall? And this weekend, you think, like TJ said, like I said, they just made the wrong choice on Sunday with tires, or maybe he's the silver what is it, the silver bullet, not bullet, slip. What is that? I had today. I'll get it. What are your thoughts?
No, I think Bezzecchi and Marquez Alex Marquez, obviously. I think they are different sides of the same coin. Whereas Marquez started the season very, very strong and Bezzecchi struggled, just as Alex started to struggle, Bezzecchi started to come on. So it's almost like at the end of the year, they balance each other out. If Bezzecchi had started just a little bit better, he'd probably be second in the championship, not third. But I think on Saturday, the team...
First?
Nah, they're not going for that. But I think the team just made a really bad decision on the tires. You could see with like 6 or 7 laps left, he was already starting to have some problems when the camera would focus on him. And I think it probably just got progressively worse. And he probably got to a point where he's like, look, I just got to manage the time I have. I'm not going to catch the 3 guys or 4 guys in the front. And then, we know for a fact that Aldeguer is super strong when the tires drop. Like he's one of the fastest riders as the tires get worse. And so when Aldeguer was there within like a second and a half, 2 seconds, I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna end well for Alex because that kid's got nothing but piss and vinegar running through his veins, man. He just wants to do whatever he can do. Right. So good for him, man. I'm super stoked for him. But Alex did what he needed to do, brought it home. They're going to start testing, and from there, we'll see what happens next year. I hear so many different things of what Ducati's doing for next year or what their new bike is going to be. So we'll see. Hopefully they can do something because I know outside of the Gresini team, the Gresini team has outperformed the factory team a lot more in the second half of the year than anybody would have expected.
We're gonna talk about that. So definitely hold on to that. Silver Surfer is what they were going for with Alex Marquez and the
That's funny because delivery. in the post race little chat that the 3 riders have, they were asking each other, why is he in silver? And they speculated, it's because you get silver for being in second place. And they told Bezzecchi, maybe you should be in bronze. And Bezzecchi,
see, I gotta learn Spanish and Italian.
Yeah. you get all the scoop. You get all the scoop when you know the language, man. Exactly. So that's what Acosta had told. Like Bezzecchi had asked why he's in silver.
Yeah.
And Acosta said, I think it's because silver is what you get for the medal in second place.
Okay. All right.
And then Acosta told him, Bezzecchi, you should have had a bronze suit. And he was like, nah.
Nah. I just got engaged. I'm good. No bronze suits. What's going on, Reese? What are your thoughts on Alex Marquez? Maybe it was the outfit slowed him down. How he did this season, despite the injuries and everything. I mean, and despite the sixth place on Sunday, because at the end of the day, he still solidifies second in the overall championship. So he gets a nice check.
Right. I mean, he still solidified second overall. He still gets we say all the time, you can still get a big check. There's a big difference from second to third. So, I mean, he still gets a nice check. I mean, in the second half of the season, you could see that he was kind of more spotty. He was on, off. And, like everyone else said, I mean, I just agree with everybody. I agree with everyone. It's just, they just made a bad tire choice coming up here in the GP. Like, you could just see he was struggling and just trying to pretty much limp it home and just trying to do the best he can. But I think if Bezzecchi would have had the same amount of success as he did in the second half all the way through, we would have a different conversation right about now. We're in second place. But overall, I think Alex did a great job. It's just to see if he can actually continue that success with the new GP, with the 26 that he's going to get, since he will now be on a factory bike. And he also said, with a factory bike, he does have to show that he's worth it. So, I mean, he's got a lot of work to prove and a lot of stuff to deal with. So we'll see what he can continue that success next year.
Yeah, I agree. He does have a lot to show, and he got by in 24, but he definitely earned his keep in 25. So that's pretty impressive. The award show banquet was last night. If there was an award to be given for what Pedro did this season on the KTM with all their woes and all their in-house stuff and external stuff, on-track stuff, what would you call that award? Start with TJ.
I mean, shit. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what I would call that award. Like,
all right, but what you might not have a name for it, but how would you describe what he did this year?
I mean, he put in a lot of work. He put in a lot of effort, but when things went wrong, his way he responded to that is just it wasn't equal. So,
gotcha. Okay.
So, go
ahead.
I like I said, I'm thinking of a word to call the award, but I don't know. I kind of want to hear what Lewis got to say.
All right, man. They're throwing it to you. Lewis got like 10 of them already. He's like, finally. What kind of award would you give him? Because see, I was thinking, TJ's holding some, a couple of bad things that Acosta did, but overall, to me, I would think, I was thinking like sixth man of the year kind of award, because that KTM, he made that KTM finish fourth in the championship. Am I leading the witness? Your mute is on. Did I do that?
I said, really, it's he should be fifth if Pecco didn't completely fall apart. Just one more dig at Pecco, 2025.
Okay, all right.
And he wouldn't have even finished that far up. I think Vinales would have finished in front of him had Vinales not gotten hurt. So all things given, I mean, he's still in the top 6, let's say, which is really good considering where some other people on the same bike are. I mean, I don't know. Angry little Spanish guy complaining until he gets what he wants award. I don't know what to, something like that. Like, complain till the Austrians give in award.
All right. Okay. I mean, let's see what Reese got. I mean,
I don't even know. I can't even say. I don't even know how you want to call that award. Spanish award? I don't freaking know. I'm lost. I'm with DJ on that one.
I mean, he finished.
I'm with DJ.
A lot of podiums these last 4 rounds.
Riding the coattails award. There you go. He rode Vinales.
That might be. I agree.
Riding the coattails award.
Okay.
I can agree.
All right. Riding the coattail awards is what he's going to get.
All right, here we go. I looked up something. Let's say the Angry Bird Award.
That could work too. So okay, all right. Well, let's same question, but we're gonna pose it to Fabio Quartararo because he did some amazing things in one lap for that Yamaha. I'm sure he helps some people keep their Yamaha and probably buy a Yamaha. If there's an award for Fabio, what just is it? Braveheart? I don't know. What are your thoughts, DJ? Yeah, Yamaha guy.
Yeah. Huh? He said, I heard that when Reese said Reese did something there. I mean, you gotta give it to Fabio. Like Fabio really tries hard, but he's demanding. So like I would say like. I'm not good off the top of the head with like award names, but like you got to give him to like Little Beast or something like that, like
okay.
Mr. Aggressive.
You just Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I mean he got the devil on his helmet, so like he has that like you tell he has that like aggression. So.
All right, so he may need some holy water.
Yeah,
maybe the devil isn't working. Yeah. All right, I think you're batting. You got 1 for 1 right now, Lewis. We're giving out awards, so there's gonna be one for Fabio. He's on a Yamaha, so that might be tough for you, but
Fastest guy in the slowest bike award.
FS.
Yeah, fastest bike, fastest guy in the slowest bike award.
FBSG.
Yeah, the looking good in pearls award. Love
Pearl
to
necklace award.
Yeah, the pearl necklace award. String of pearls award.
Oh man, but describe his performance this year. And is it a big deal? I mean, is it something that's kind of like it's cool, but it's only just to talk about, but it doesn't mean much overall, or it's good for Yamaha that they can still get 6 poles this year and be one of the slowest bikes.
It is, but I mean, it just it's another year of. It sucks to be Fabio Quartararo, like one of the most talented riders that can't show his talent because he doesn't have the package to be competitive.
Mm.
If you told me to swap him with Pedro Acosta, I think he would have done better than Pedro Acosta. If you told me to swap him with Bagnaia, Ducati factory team would finish 1 and 2.
Okay.
On any other bike, this guy would be winning races or be racing for the win every single round, not racing for the win once in a blue moon. So that's where I feel, that's where I kind of feel a little bit of a pity for Quartararo that, it sucks to be on a bike that you can't do more with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least money. Being sad and rich is better than being sad and poor, and he gets paid well to be sad.
Right.
But I'm sure he would happily take the money and some wins and not just the money.
I agree. What are your thoughts, Reese? You're Yamaha, so you can't say anything negative about Yamaha. So is that the 7th Man of the Year award he's getting?
Nah, listen. I'm a Yamaha man, but I can call bullshit. on that side. On our side, that'd be different. But on that side, man, I'm gonna call bullshit. That was a bullshit award. For the most. Like, I think that's one of them trophies you get, back in the day when you just do participation award. That was that award for him. Like, shit. Yeah. That's the award I'm going to give him because, he got podiums and it's great, but it's just like, it was just, you pretty much riding over your head. Like, you're riding over your head, luck of the draw, and it's just like, that was just bad. And then they're like what D tier, I think. I looked, they're on like the D tier level for consistency. Like that's just ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, let's talk about well, I'll say this. Let me talk about Ducati because I know Lewis have some things to say. So, in 2025, Ducati finished 8th overall with 6 bikes, right? They're in the top 8 overall. In 24, I think they were like 11th overall with 8 riders. And 23, I think they were like 12th overall with 8 riders or something like that. So this is the best season they've had, in the last 3 years, probably since they've been in MotoGP, period. So how do you guys rate Ducati and what they're doing, even though we see the struggles, Pecco finishing in 5th? But there's only 2 bikes that finished in the top 8. One was a KTM, one was an Aprilia. Is this something for Ducati to celebrate, or should they look to improve even more? Obviously, they're going to look to improve, but there's 6 bikes and only one can be won, right? And so they're taking the first 8 spots. What are your thoughts, TJ?
Oh, I got something for that bullshit.
Well, let's give it to Reese, and let's let Reese. Sounds like he's ready to go. So sorry to cut you off, TJ.
No, you're good.
But he's also just came on the show.
No, y'all good. Listen. On that note, it's a damn Ducati show. It's like to look to improve. What are you gonna improve on? Like you 6 bikes. That's just insane. In the top 10. Come on. So there's nothing.
Top 8. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Top 8. That's even worse. So there's nothing really to improve. You're at the top of the game. Watch them go down the front straight away. They're blitzing everybody. They're just destroying bikes. So it's at the point on what can you really improve? Maybe you can improve a little bit more on tire wear, but as far as performance, you're already there. It's like Top Rack said, it's a damn Ducati Cup. If it wasn't for KTM or even Aprilia, like I can't even count the Yamaha boys on that side, but it's just it'd have been a Ducati Cup all the way. It's literally that's all it is.
Like, yeah. TJ, what are your thoughts? I'm not complaining. I like Ducatis.
Yeah, we know.
Yamahas I like 2 and KTMs. I have 2 of each.
I agree with Reese. Like, what can they improve on? I felt like last year when they had 8 bikes, I thought it was a little ridiculous, and it was a little interesting to see. Like, you expected all Ducatis to win. There was a lot of races where it was just 1 through 5 Ducati, and then the Ducati lovers won't see it as being boring. But I'm just like, I want to see another manufacturer, be more competitive. And for them having this year being their best year, I can't really. You can give it to them, but like at the end of the day, they have a superstar rider that you see boo everyone away with points. So if Mark wasn't there, it would have been a different story. I think they need to worry about how to get their riders to improve better, like Pecco, going through tough times. To stay on top, like Reese said, they have the best machine where they can go down the straightaway and just beat everybody, and they've been improving every year, coming up with new aerodynamics before anyone else has it, and stuff like that. So they've always been at the top of their game. So I don't see the bike needs to improve much, but
right,
they can keep their riders on the same level. That's all.
The only thing I disagree with you is only Ducati guys like the dominance that's happening. The Patriots and the Celtics, man. Come on, man. Like how you weren't sick after the first 3.
I feel you on that. like you want to see your brand win and continue. Like everyone likes dominance, but I was more saying with having 8 bikes, so like or 6 bikes, and saying you're dominant is it's like yeah, you have all the bikes where you have the better advantage, but you still got to go out there and do it. It's racing at the end of the day, and as you see this year, a lot of BS happened with championship riders that didn't look like a champion rider. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Lewis, what are your thoughts, man, on Ducati and what they're doing? And Ducati should be everywhere, right?
I mean, I give them credit for this, and I've said this before. It's not the first time. They are the only manufacturer, or one of the few manufacturers, that's still actively investing in the sport bike market in a big way. We've spoken about it before, where the Japanese manufacturers don't have their foot, if on the gas at all, barely on the gas. Whereas Ducati and BMW, they have their foot 100% on the gas. I mean, they're investing heavily. They want to do big things. They want to take that mentality of win on Sunday and buy on Monday. And that's kind of been their bread and butter for years in this industry. They had a little bit of a rough patch there when they first introduced the Panigale. They didn't win championships for a long time anywhere. They evolved the GP bike. They evolved the Panigale. They went to the V4. They changed things and they've turned it around in the last, realistically, this is only the last 6-7 years that Ducati has turned things around so much.
Not that long.
Yeah, because from 2012, when the previous 1199 or 1198 went away, and then the Panigale came into existence. When the Panigale came into existence, it came in on the shoulders of like a bike that had previously won a lot. And it did jack shit because it was, it was built more for I think it was more of an ego trip to build that bike than the idea of winning championships with it.
Right.
Because they took what they were doing in MotoGP that wasn't working, and they built it into a street bike that wasn't working. And then after a few years of swallowing a lot of crow for building a bike that nobody can seem to win on, they went back and they redesigned the bike. They went to the V4. They did this. They did that. They changed all the things. They took the ego out of it and went back to actually building a true world-class championship bike, both in MotoGP and in World Superbike. And now, in the last 7 years, they've gone back to dominating these, at least World Superbike. They always were really competitive in World Superbike, but now for the first time ever, they're really dominating in MotoGP.
Right. I would say they replace ego with electronics.
No,
because the electronics is what makes that bike rideable.
They replace ego with engineering that works. Because remember the previous MotoGP bike, what did they do? They connected the swing arm directly to the motor and said, this is a great stress member. No, it's not. A motor is a motor. It's not designed to hold the swing arm that can put 230 horsepower on the ground.
Right.
The bike does all kinds of weird things. One of the first things, I think one of the best things that they did is they stole Gigi D'Eligia from Aprilia.
Right.
He probably single-handedly turned that, not just their racing department around, but that entire company around.
Yeah.
Because whoever was designing or leading them in the design of their bikes before him should get fired.
Right.
Well, they did. I remember the person that was before Gigi came in, and then they were having trouble, and they said when Gigi came in, he scrapped the whole project and redid it from the ground up. And when he redid it, he saved Ducati.
Yeah. If honestly, that hire, nobody thinks that hiring some guy to manage your race team is going to change your entire company's fortunes. And whatever they're paying him, it ain't enough.
It ain't enough.
No,
it ain't enough.
Ain't enough.
Because every single win that comes across any checkered line anywhere in the world on a Ducati, they can thank that guy for it. And his vision and everything else.
All right, pretty impressive. Before we move, we're going to move off of Ducati, but we got to talk about, Frankie. Is this the icing on the cake for this guy to not be MotoGP 2027? I love the guy. But is this the icing on the cake?
Look,
Somebody
he
else
cannot
did.
have that much. Right. He can't have that much more pressure than Pekka. Like, both of them are frustrated, but Jesus fucking Christ. Both of them need the icing on the cake and just be like, all right, time to move on.
I've never seen a rider that has problems in other places than racing. I mean, I know this was racing, but like how you enter the grid and stuff like that. Like you don't even give yourself a chance sometimes. Like he does certain things where he just cause himself to get a penalty or he gets himself in trouble. And yeah, it's just I didn't understand what happened. Like you think that happened in a lower class, like he fell asleep. I mean, I don't know.
I'll say this: he did not expect whatchamacallit to do what he did, how he engaged the ride height device for the start. Because you could see, like, once he did the endo, you can see Frankie try to avoid him like instantly, but it was already too late. If the bike didn't come off the ground, he would have cleared him if the bike was on the ground.
But I know that when all the bikes get on the grid, they have to do an endo to engage their ride height device.
But they usually do it before. They usually do it before. I think Jorge Martinez is one of the only guys that kind of does what Aleix did.
Yeah, I mean, they were like literally legit in their positions. So like, I don't know. It was kind of unfortunate for him. It sucked. I mean, yeah, it's a freak accident. But it only matches up to Frankie. Like it happens to him.
Yeah. So do you think he lost his seat in 20? Well, there's no seat because there's no contract. But is this the thing that kind of say, all right, man, let's find someone else?
Yeah, man. When he's on the trading block, that's what you call it. Like he's like, if there's a rider that can show some talent and show some light, like, all right, we got a spot that can fill Morbidelli already.
Right. So. Now, I feel you. Reese, what are your thoughts, man? I feel like this is a thing that, like, for me, like, I mean, I love the guy and I've been rooting for him for forever, but it's just like, like, stop shooting yourself in the foot.
I mean, you're on the chopping blocks, man. You're at a professional level, at a high end level, and you come into the grid and you do some dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, what were you thinking? Like, it's like, that was like the most rookiest mistake I've ever seen. It's like you almost fell asleep behind the bars. I'm just like, what were you thinking? So, I mean, unless he can actually turn, next year around, because he's already signed his contract for next year, so he's already on the seat. Unless he turns it completely around and just, I mean, I want to say top three, dominate and just be in the top three all the time. I mean, he's going to get chopped. There's just too many penalties, man. There's too many simple mistakes that you make, like the penalties, the points, and the ride throughs, or the double long lap penalty, the long lap penalty, however you want, whatever it is. It's just too much of it for, it's like, at the end of the day, yeah, you're a great ride. You're one of Rossi's boys, and you come from BR46 camp. But at the end of the day, Rossi's running a business. He's running a business, and he's not here for, as some people would say, they're not here for charity. We're here to win or try to do something, and not doing anything, and that's just hurting the team.
Right. And he finished, seventh in the championship with all the antics and stuff that happened with him. I mean, imagine if this guy just had a clean season. He could have possibly been maybe third or fourth in the championship, because he had some races or some opportunities to finish strong in races where he just did bonehead stuff or had a lot of long lap penalties and stuff like that. What are your thoughts, Lewis? I mean, we're tearing up the contract early?
No, man. I mean, if anything, so he's got next year to clear his head, get his head out of his ass, and prove himself. Because from my understanding, him and the Gian Antonio are both only on a 1-year contract.
Yeah, next year, yeah.
So it's really going to be a fight between those two who stays in the seat. And he needs to just, put his head down, focus, and just outride his teammate first, and then try to do the best he can after that. I know that, within the team, people really like him. He's a nice guy to be around and everything else. He's not as much of a issue inside the garage. He's not somebody that, rants and raves and throws stuff and yells and screams. So, teams tend to take that into consideration too, because there's a lot of riders that don't have rides, and a lot of that has to do with their attitude.
Right.
So if he has the right attitude, he comes in, he comes in the best shape of his life, super focused, and does what he can do, he'll probably salvage that. But if he is not riding at a potential that they think that him and the bike should be at, if his teammate outrides him, then he's going to be out of a ride, man. He's going to be looking for someplace else to hang his hat, unfortunately.
And
I like him a lot too, man. I think he's a good character to have. He's that, that one character. He's the only one in the entire grid other than the Asians that doesn't come from Europe. Now we have another Brazilian, so he definitely got to beat that other Brazilian.
Although these MotoGP guys were saying the first Brazilian to win, because Frankie won the Moto2 title.
Yep.
And I know he's half, but what are we saying? He got to be 100% now, because they should really give blown smoke.
It's those English guys, man. Those English guys don't know nothing. You know what? They think because they talk in an English accent that they sound so smarter. They ain't that smart. Just that English accent makes them sound smart.
That is good to know. Yeah, man.
Everybody in Games of Thrones had English accents. They were dumb as shit.
Yeah, they were. I'm messing with my own. Anyway, but he's out protesting because of his hand. So it's not just that he just fell on a grid, but now he doesn't get to test tomorrow. That's huge for. And I was gonna say, last year at the beginning of the season, he was hurt on the Panigale in preseason, right, or before the season, so he couldn't do a lot of the preseason testing last year, or earlier this year, I should say, because he was on Pramac last year.
From what I understand, Ducati's not rolling out a ton of new changes to the bikes, so it's not going to be like they're bringing anything new to the table, because what's the purpose of putting millions and millions of dollars into a bike that's only going to be good for 1 year? Right. So I don't think outside of Honda, which might be testing parts that are going to go to the new bike, that's really most of the testing that's probably going to happen is on packages that will eventually end up on the 27 bike. I'm pretty sure if you look through the grid next year, a lot of the bikes that are on the grid are going to be the 25 bikes with small modifications for 26. Nobody's dumping a ton of money to try to win the title in 26, knowing that they have to develop an entirely new bike in 27. That's my feeling.
Okay. All right. Moving from Frankie to Jack Miller, he got a double long lap penalty. It was dropped 3 position, and then he got a long lap penalty because he didn't drop the 3 position. Now, I didn't see the incident in real time, and he got a lot of blame in real time. But after watching it, I can't see what he did. So, is it fair? Was it a fair penalty to you guys, or unfair penalty for what Jack Miller got? Because it looked like his rear tire nudged Fernando Aldeguer's arm, and not like he pushed him off, he didn't do what Zarco did to Bagnaia.
I think it was any other type of racing incident where someone's trying to pass someone in the corner. For what I saw, Jack Miller just dive bombed, to pass, in a corner, and it happened to be 2 bikes. And Aldeguer was one of them, and basically when he dive bombed him, he kind of nicked Aldeguer a little bit, where it causes fairing to fall off and stuff like that. But Jack Miller was told to drop 2 positions or 3 positions, and he didn't. And I don't know if some riders just say F it, and I'm gonna just take the penalty at the end, because they probably know, like the ins and outs, where like just a long lap penalty is better than just slowing down and dropping 3 positions where you really can't look back. So,
well, he did. He it's the same position he would have lost when he took the, because I think he only lost 3 positions when he did the long lap. So
Yeah,
I don't know the benefit in all honesty.
Yeah. I mean, he should have just let the riders go by. I mean, it was just been that easy. And he just didn't do it. So I think that was just the argument there where, he didn't do it in time where, and then the laps that he's supposed to drop the position. So, the stewards had to get involved,
Got you. So you think it was
doing Jack Miller things.
You think it was fair?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he should have, it was kind of wild. The pass he made was kind of wild, but it was fair.
All right, man. You're starting to sound like a politician. I was wondering when you were going to say yes.
No. Sometimes they be making decisions. You be like, what? Sometimes they choose to do it like the next race, or
right.
It's just not the right type of penalty, or double long lap when it shouldn't have been. Like, I don't know. So
right.
I guess.
Yeah, like Martine, for instance. What are your thoughts, Reese, on Jack Miller's penalty? Is it something that you think was fair or unfair? I think it was kind of unfair personally, but just me.
I mean, the pass was kind of hard. I mean, it almost looked like he kind of dove in there a little tight, and then they kind of bumped real hard. It's almost like a dive bomb, but
how many times does Aldeguer does that though? This whole season, how many times has he done that to people?
He has. I mean, he has done it. I mean, but it was that was a little aggressive. I thought that was something coming when I saw it. I was like, "There's something coming down the pipeline." So, I mean, it's like a 50-50. I mean, it's something you could say, yeah, it's kind of stupid, and then you can kind of say, yeah, it was kind of harsh. It shouldn't have been done.
All right, 50-50. Lewis, I know you saw it clear as day.
Lewis going to have some harsh shit to say.
No, I'm not. I mean, personally, I think, to be honest with you, I personally think that it was right on the razor's edge of a racing incident, and a little more than you should do. So that it's a decision that could have gone either way. Mm-hmm. It's really just how the track marshal interpreted it at that moment. Because if you look at it, like, yeah, it was a pass, and it was a hard pass, but it wasn't like he completely took Aldeguer out.
Right.
But on the flip side is, if you've got that much pace to pass him, and you got to do something that sketchy where you are almost sure to make contact with the rider, are you better off just setting him up at the next corner and passing him clean?
Rubbing is racing, Lewis.
Rubbing is racing, but if you rub too much, somebody's going to come and meet you in the garage and introduce you to the shadow realm and make you look like Kamar Usman in that one UFC bout.
Yeah. Well, that is true. That is true. It's a little tough, but Aldeguer does, of all the riders out there, he's one of those riders that he goes for everything, even when there's nothing there. Sometimes.
I mean, it is racing. You do have to go for. I mean, you do have to go for those gaps when you find them, and especially I blame this, and this is just. I blame a lot of these hard passes that are happening in the last 2-3 years
on the Spanish people.
On Spanish people, on Europeans mainly, because they're 99% of the grid. The Aussie is the only one that's not on. One of the few people that's not from England. So I got to give him a little pass. It's on the aerodynamics, man. The aerodynamics have made it just so difficult to draft past people cleanly. Mm-hmm. That you have to do these crazy, sketchy passes, because you can't just out aerodynamic somebody. You can't just out brake somebody. You got to out drive them. Between the aerodynamics and the right height devices and everything else, they've taken the ability for riders to pass in a controlled manner away for the most part. So now riders out of desperation are making more and more of these like lunges from way back and like, right at the apex, just meeting each other, or, so I can't wait for like these aero packages to go away, especially the aero packages that damage the air behind their bike.
Right.
And even, listening to Bulaga this past weekend, it's his second weekend in GP coming from World Superbike where they don't have all these aerodynamics and all these packages. even he has mentioned in the Italian media that he didn't realize how bad it is to pass in MotoGP because
It's so hard.
His last experience in the World Championship on Moto 2, it wasn't like that. It's more or less a production bike. You don't have dirty air in front of you. You can get up behind somebody, draft them, catch a little bit of drag. He said when he would get stuck behind other bikes, he felt no breeze. Wow. He felt like there was no air in front of him. Like he didn't feel that he was actually gaining on the gas because it felt like all the air that was in front of him was like a void. And so you couldn't get really close because as soon as you get close, you start to feel a lot of turbulence coming from the bike in front of you. And if you stay far enough back where you don't have that turbulence, now you have to make up that distance again in the brake to try to pass. So as soon as these aerodynamics go away and these stupid ride heights devices go away and a little bit more of the control is back on the riders to make passes, we'll probably see less of these bonehead. I mean, we're still going to see bonehead passes. That's part of racing for as long as they've been racing. But you'll see less bonehead passes when that happens and when a couple of guys are no longer in the grid that just like making these bonehead passes anyway.
Right. All right. It's racing, man. It was a good weekend, I gotta say. Honda, Mir unfortunately cleaned out his teammate in the sprint.
That's teamwork, baby.
Very apologetic.
Teamwork.
Exactly. That's teamwork, man.
They want those concessions still. That's what it is.
Well, I mean,
I needed to take them out in both races, not just one.
Right. I was gonna say.
Exactly.
They don't want to make it look obvious, you just do it in the sprint.
Well, they're moving up to C from D, which is good for Honda. I wasn't sure if Luca was going to make it. They were very happy. It seemed like the factory guys are going to be doing less testing, and that's a good thing because they move up to C. Is that good? Is that a good thing to be testing less?
I mean, I feel like you should just be on a bike regardless, just to keep your skill level up. I mean, as far as like going hard in testing, I brought it up before. Is like I don't know why they have like the top riders testing. Well, I don't know how hard they go in testing, but just risking yourself to get hurt before the season starts. So like, I know you want to test just to feel things out, but like how far do you go with it? But yeah, I think they should still be involved, but like how much?
Gotcha. All right. Lewis, what's your thought on that? Riders not going hard in testing. Is the mechanics not going hard in testing either? What's the deal? What are you thinking of Honda and their concession getting moving to C? And also, is it a benefit when the factory guys can't get has to spend less time on the bike?
No, I mean, as a rider, I want to spend as much time on the bike as possible. I want to keep constantly trying to make advances because I'd rather do it myself than have a test rider try to make changes to a bike that they're actually not going to race in. As the actual guy racing, I want to be the one working on the bike, testing it and everything. So for me, moving from D to C or C to B makes no sense because you get more to do as a D-ranked concession. You get more tires, you get more events, you get more actual riders racing on certain tracks. They can actually race on any GP track. Mm-hmm. So you can actually go to a track that maybe you struggle with and try to find something at that track. There's other things you can do. And moving from D to C, like the biggest thing you lose is that private testing is allowed on any track by the racers. So you're losing, for me, I think you're losing one of the best concessions that the D rank has is your actual riders can actually go and do actual testing on tracks that maybe they struggle and give actual feedback as to what they need for the bike versus your test rider goes out there, thinks they're putting together whatever they have to put together. And then when it comes to the actual GP riders, they're like, oh, this doesn't work for me anyway. I think Honda should have had the guy who put the gas in Bagnaya's bike come over and be like, hey, how much gas goes in these bike? And let him fill the tank up for Luca.
There you go. Reese, what are your thoughts, man? I don't know what concessions are like in the US and Motor America and stuff like that, but it would seem like, as you hear Lewis suspension, it would probably make sense for Honda to want to stay with that D concession so they can get more testing happening or be more productive with testing.
I mean, yeah, of course, you want to get as much production as you can. I mean, on the D side of it, if you're a D level, I mean, you get the free spec, you get free engines, you get as much testing as you want, you get to use any GP track as much as you want that you ride on. The riders still get to test, but they only can test on sanctioned test days, not private test days at any time. So that sucks instead of being where I could test at any time and put more, like Lewis said, give more feedback and set the bike up to where it's rideable and ready for me versus using a test rider and I'm kind of going off of his notes instead of my own. So as far as, with Honda, I mean, I'd have did just like a football, basketball team. I'd have tanked just to get to the D level, to stay there, and not move up. I mean, now you can't, you have an engine freeze. You only get, I think it was, instead of 260 test tires, you get 200 tires. You only get from, instead of, it's enough. I would have just stayed at the D level just to get the concessions. The American is not as not as technical as that. I mean, we do have concessions, but not nearly what the GP guys go through.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what's up. Before we get out of here, who's going to be Rookie of the Year next year? Top Rock or Diego?
Top Rock. That's kind of the silliest question.
No, man. Come on, man. It's not silly at all.
You didn't hear about him yet, did you?
What? Who?
One's on a Honda, one's on a Yamaha. So,
I mean,
I've got notes already. I've got notes.
All right.
Equally,
they said he's took to the bike and taken to how to ride because you can't. He was like, you can't give as much front brake pressure as he does on the World Superbike stage. You can't do it. You got to be a lot smoother. But he's taken to it very well, and he's far more advanced than any rookie has come onto GP stage.
It's like a 27-year-old going to high school. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's like a 7-foot tall guy playing junior high school kids in basketball that are 5 feet tall.
Hey, you sure?
I don't know why he's dominating.
Yeah, it's like he's 20 or 21. So he does have that age difference experience that, it does help.
It ain't my fault they took me late. That's their fault. Don't kill the messenger.
You were ready at 21.
It ain't my fault.
Even if I think he'll be the Rookie of the Year, but even if he's not the Rookie of the Year, I think come 27, he'll be the most significant rider in 27, just because he's got so much more history with the tires and with the way the bike works with those tires. I think that's, people keep underestimating how significant that change is. When they went from, Bridgestone to Michelin, it wasn't that significant a change because both tires are almost equally as shitty.
I was gonna say they complained a lot, but
yeah, but you went from like a really shitty tire to a somewhat kind of really shitty tire.
2008, man, Rossi loved them Bridgestones. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because he was getting a special set flown in
right. He was getting a special set for that motherfucker.
He's getting that yellow band. But I think considering. I think the guys that are going to do very quickly, the guys that are easily adaptable, riders that know how to adapt riding styles, guys that are hard breakers are going to benefit more from the Pirelli tires. So your Marc Marquez's, even your Pecco Bagnaia's, like the guys that are like super hard on the brakes, they're going to benefit from the Pirellis. All the guys that are coming from Moto 2 are going to benefit from Pirellis because they've already been racing in the Pirellis.
Mm.
But all these other guys that have only ever known either Dunlop or Bridgestone Michelin, those guys are going to have a little bit of a learning curve to get used to the change there. So even if he's not the rookie of the year next year, which I do think he's going to be the rookie of the next year, I think he will do very, very well in 2027. I think he'll be a rider to watch in 2027. And I don't think he'll stay on that satellite team much longer because if things don't change, I think there's going to be spots available at the factory level with Yamaha.
Right. With Quartararo going to Aprilia.
And Sideshow Bob.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. What are your thoughts, PJ, on who's going to be Rookie of the Year? I mean, Diego does know all the GP tracks. So that is a plus where Top Rock is going to have a learning curve there. But what you're saying, Top Rock?
I mean, I'm not going to say that Top Rock being on a BMW for the first time at COTA and still putting down a time that, a lot of people can't do. So, I would say,
Early time.
I would say, Top Rock. He's obviously the icon right now going into the season for like everyone wants to see what he would do. I mean, like I think next year is going to be such a good year with him being a rookie and the rest of the season with Mark trying to repeat. So it's going to be a good year, but I think over him and Diego, they got to be Top Rock. I mean, obviously Diego is Moto 2 winner now and going into MotoGP, but I feel like he would be learning the bike more than what Top Rock has to learn to start off. So I feel like Top Rock has an advantage, but who knows what testing they got going on.
Yeah, we've had some rookies this year coming from Moto 2, been on the podium and even won races, man.
Yeah. Gotta believe the hype. Gotta believe the hype for what I see now. So
that's where it starts. It always starts with the hype.
Well, there's only one rookie that's won this year. It's only been Aldeguer.
Yeah.
And he's just happens to be on the best bike.
Iagura came close, but he didn't win.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the season.
Oh, remember he had the cheat code in the system also. So.
Yeah, so at least one. What are your thoughts, Reese? You're saying Top Rack all the way?
I mean, I'm going to give it to Top Rack over, the next. Because just as you said, you got a 27-year-old coming in, the top. He's been there for a while, and then he's one that's the rarest breed that's kind of coming from stunt riding as his dad, and he's had so much learning curve from Sir Foglu and everyone else. So I mean, he's kind of blended the lines together, and he's as my uncle would say, he's like an anomaly. He's one of the rarest people you can bring up. He's like one of the back in the days you call an alien. So I got to give it to the guy. I got to give it to Top Rack, man.
He's the Wimby of MotoGP.
Pretty much. A 7 foot wingspan and 7 foot guy. Yeah, that's him.
It's not even fun to watch. Not to say it's not fun to watch Wimby play, but it is like the 7 foot kid on the playground.
It is. It's not. It's like it's not fun. So I got to give it to him, man.
All right, no doubt. Well, we have some things planned for you have something to say, Louis, before we get out of here?
No, just one last thing about the ECMA show, because I was able to go to ECMA. There wasn't actually a lot of new stuff. Like there were a couple of innovations. The one thing that everybody seemed to be talking about was the CF Moto V4 SRRRR. I think it's got like 30 R's after the S.
Okay.
I got to see the bike up close. It is hideously wide. Like that aero package in front is not pretty when you see it in person. That is a big wide wing in the front. They did keep us about, I want to say 4 or 5 feet away from it. Like it was stanchioned off.
Mm-hmm.
But just from the distance, you can see that where it's not 100% where the European bikes are at in some places, it's really, really close, man. And this bodes well for two things. China, everybody thinks that everything that comes out of China is cheap. Not everything. A large majority is made out of Chinesium and the shit falls apart. Mm-hmm. But when they do want to make something good, they have great engineers. They know how to make stuff. They have the manufacturing capacity to make really, really great items.
Okay.
And if this is kind of a glimpse into what they can do as time goes on, I think you're going to end up seeing more and more CF Moto dealerships or dealers bringing CF Moto on as a brand, because they're able to bring bikes to the market that aren't just cool and have like great technology and everything else, but their price point is very competitive.
Yeah, it seems like they're doing what Ducati's doing, but the low end version. Make bikes for any category.
They're doing the Walmart Ducati.
Yeah,
like that's pretty much what they're doing. Like, we're not Mercedes-Benz, we're Kia.
Yeah,
but right. we're gonna make a really, really good Kia. It's not a Mercedes,
but I test rode the 675R at the
CF Moto
Jersey. Yeah. When I went to Jersey, I test rode it. It has a quick shifter. Yeah. And it was pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, it's not like what you would really expect, but like, it was solid. I can't lie.
It's not refined yet, but again, this is another little kind of like shot across the bow of the Japanese manufacturers that, you've got another player in the market. We're going to make a push to try to get into these, because CF Moto has been expanding in third world countries, in like the larger developing nations, right, because that's been their bread and butter, right, under 150cc moped scooters and everything. But if this is kind of, again, a glimpse into what they're thinking of developing as they go forward, I think it's significant. One, because we need more affordable motorcycles that have a little bit more punch. If I have a choice between buying a $13,000 R9 or a $13,000 CF Moto that's going to outperform an R9, I'm going to buy a CF Moto. Or if a CF Moto V4 ends up being $13,000 and my choice is that or an R9, like, I'm going to buy the CF Moto. Like, I'm going to give it the chance.
You be in the back of them dance halls in the dark, huh?
Yeah.
them big things.
Gotta get,
know about that.
You just gotta leave before the lights go on. That's all.
That's it.
Or you gotta drink yourself into darkness. You
better leave well before the lights come on, boy.
Either actual darkness or artificial darkness. You just gotta get to that point, man. And there is that fine line between liquor and I'm taking that thing home.
It's called a CF Moto.
That's a CF Moto, baby.
Man. So they also have the BMW coming out, the 450 adventure bike as well. Yep. That was there. That looks to be like a cool parallel twin.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead.
No, sorry, but also from what I've heard and been told, I have no loyalty to this brand. For any of the guys out there that wants the ZX14, Cowie is not announcing this shit, but this is their last year for this ZX14. They are not bringing it back no more. It is done.
Speaking of the bigs,
it is done.
They don't want to compete with the Booster no more. I see. Uh-huh.
They are not even telling people. They just slowly bowing out. So
they got tired of paying the shipping for that big ass bike.
For those that want it, might want to go get it.
No doubt. Well, guys, I want to thank you for coming on. Folks out there, I want to thank you guys for commenting and liking and subscribing and doing all that fun stuff. We have some neat stuff to talk about in off season, so keep it locked to the show. We're not going anywhere, even though MotoGP is not on air. We still have a lot of things to talk about, so definitely keep it locked. I want to thank Louis coming on, TJ, Reese. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. Peace.
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 Peace.